get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around a finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
They'll try the left side with Etienne. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Let's go,
On 2nd and 7, Watson. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
52's the mic, boys. 52. Hey, 55. Check tight end. Check tight. Check tight.
Now Watson.
Yeah, let's get a sack.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
On 1st down, it's Watson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
2nd down and 5. Here's Watson. That's complete out left to Ayuk. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Mike 52. Bound to lose 1.
Now it's Watson. And they'll try and set up the screen to Etienne. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills have taken the early lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
They go play action now. Jackson. Catch is made by Hardman. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Oh, felt like that move deserved more than he got there. A gain of 2. Well, this defense for the Bills, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
49. 49's the mic. 49's the mic.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. 2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Check 20. Finish it up. Single.
Now it's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond as you just noted.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Desperados have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go one more.
Hey, check Mike.
Here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Reset. 19. It's our field. It's our field.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Options galore here, 2nd and a few inches.
Come on. 52's the mic, boys. 52.
Watson now to throw. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
19. 55. Hey, eat. He runs. Mike, 55.
A give, running right, Etienne. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Back to throw, Watson.
Oh, here we go.
That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barely.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Double tight. 4 down.
To throw is Watson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Chuba Hubbard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills have retaken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. Short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to... Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Bills are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in this second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe... possibly they're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception, tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Watson's throw complete here to Aiyuk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A give to Etienne running right. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Don't let him breathe. Play it. Don't let him breathe, defense.
A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Man, they're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Dancing to his left. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line. An 8-yard pickup. First down, Buffalo.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Tighten up, tighten up.
Running out of the gun with Etienne. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
No, check that. We're going to Mike 52, right? 54. Know your job. Check.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Slide for the PAT. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they'll have 50 seconds to work with, so that really plenty of time to try to put something together. And that's complete ETN out of the backfield. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
Watson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
What is that? Check 55, Mike. Hey, me and you all day. 54. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check safety, check safety.
Here's a give to ETN. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
That's trash. That's trash. Mike 55. Mike 55. Watch the run. Watch the run. 59. Mike.
On 1st down, Watson.
Hey, come on, no. Come on, no.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And incomplete on the deep ball.
A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, switch gears. Switch gears. Wide.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Back to throw. Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returnable for Thomas. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
180! 180! Let's go! Nice shot! Tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 3 down. 3 down. Sponge! 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 No! 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 180! What a shot! Mine's 49! All day, baby. All day. All day, baby. 49. 49, guys. Mike. 49. Let's go.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. So the difference is 6 points as we get set to resume action here in this third quarter of play. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
There to stop him was Darius Leonard. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Time to go. Night. 49.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
180. Let you play. 180. What a shot. 49's the mic. Watch 49.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Let's go. 49.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson.
Here we go, D.
Buying time to his left. And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a 1st down, and he gives himself up there at the end.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Javon Kinlaw, the big D tackle there to bring him down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
There you go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Bills are going to take over here up near the 40. So an opening drive interception to begin this 2nd half.
And just think about the time you spend in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the 2nd half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite here. This is live, and now they've got to find a way out of this hole.
And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well, and that would appear to be a face mask. So they'll get the yardage on the run and get 15 more for good measure.
Yeah, that wasn't too difficult to spot. You heard the sideline erupting, and the flags came out almost immediately.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. A handoff for Etienne, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. About 3 yards there to the 27. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
What's that? 18. Army. Alert.
49, check 49, check 49.
They'll run with Etienne. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
What's that? 18. I got you, punk.
Hey, we got tight left.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike.
Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Mike 55. Watch the slant. Hey, 55. Check 31. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
A handoff running left is Etienne. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll try the air now with Watson. He'll find Etienne out of the backfield. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
New Mike 55.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Check 52. Mike 9, Mike 9. Hey, we got
2nd and 5 now. Jackson got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. It's caught by OBJ. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
On first down, Jacobs. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
49's the Mike. Watch 49.
They'll run on first down. Callaway. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism. They created some nice space for him.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Desperados are an extra point away from taking the lead here in the 4th. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. A very important extra point there, up and good, and they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
All you get is a headache. Mike, 31.
Hey, keep it up.
Looking to throw. Watson. He'll drop this one off with Etienne. And the ball is knocked out. It's going the other way. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Whenever I see a team...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Watson now on 3rd down. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
85 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. 4th quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down.
And they pick up a 1st down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
And a gain of 4 gets them right to the midfield stripe. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Jackson. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Counter play with Jacobs. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Here's Jacobs. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the home team here, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.